What's happening, Hammers? Dan Lawless here, back with another edition of the West Ham Week, where I take 3 of the top stories surrounding West Ham from throughout the week and breaking down into 2-minute sections. And we have a big one today. So many big stories that have come out this week. It's been a bit of a mess, a circus, as if you like. So we'll get straight into that. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments below, because I like to read what your guys' opinions are and reply to as many as I can. So without further ado, start the clock now. So, the first one, the email has come out. The emails were leaked, which showed and proved that David Sullivan did make a bid, if you can even call it a bid. Now, in this email, full of grammatical errors and spelling mistakes, he came out with basically, we offered 25 million euros, so that's what, like 20 million quid, 8 million per year in installments of 8.33 million a year, which is an absolutely ridiculous offer. Also been said that there'll be some bonuses, like if we get Champions League, which is laughable, you know, to get some extra money. And also if you don't agree to it, we'll just get some PSG player on loan, which never happened anyway. Absolutely embarrassing email, and a lot of people have doubted the validity of this email. But I will tell you this, and I really know for certain that this email is genuine. A lot of people that I trust and are sort of well placed and things like that have told me that this email is genuine, and it makes sense. Basically, obviously, sporting director come out and said no bid was made, and there's a lot of talk saying that Sullivan himself, West Ham, did leak this to Sky to prove, which has only made them look worse. Completely embarrassing offer, shows that no intention was made to sign Cavallo. Apparently this email was like around the 11th of August, so quite earlier on. There's, you know, they could have gone back and forth, but this was it. Take it or leave it offer of 25 million euros for a player that they wanted 35 million and probably wanted all of it, if not most of it, up front. This just goes to show that they really don't have our best interests at heart. They're trying to save money. They want to look like they're signing players, and they're not. And that really sealed it for me, that they're not the best people to be running this club, and it's time to go. David Sullivan needs to get out, take his cronies with him, because he's a joke. Moving on to another thing that's a joke, and the West Ham new sleeve sponsors were unveiled today by the club, and wow, what a way to ruin a nice kit. Unbelievable. I believe it's MRF Tires or something is the company, and it's hideous. You've got, you know, the claret kit and the black kit. You've got this big square rectangle plastered on the sleeve. Doesn't fit in with the aesthetic of the kits at all, with the MRF tyres in it. I don't know why they couldn't either, one, find a sponsor that fits with the aesthetic of the kit, or two, you know, just put the MRF tyres font on there. Just take the red rectangle off. You know, I believe, what's it, Man City have something similar, like, I think it's like a tyre company, and they just have the text on it. You know, that would have been perfectly fine, but they've got this big red square. It reminds me of the times, you know, multiple times our sponsors have gone bust, and we've had to have a big things plastered on it with the new sponsor, a big square in the middle, and it looks ugly. And I'm hearing that these sleeve sponsors are going to be rolled out into the retail versions of the kits in a few months' time. So that means when you go to buy your West Ham shirt or your away shirt, basically a home or away shirt for Christmas or whatever on the January sales, it's going to have that ugly thing plastered on the side of it. I don't know anyone who's going to want to buy that. Let me know if you would buy it still with the shirt sponsor on it, the sleeve sponsor, but I wouldn't. And so it looks like for next season, that'll probably be there straight at the start of the season. And I will never buy a West Ham shirt with that, or I'll buy one and steam it off or something like that, because I do not want that crap on my shirt. Thank you very much. Moving on to the last topic, and this is something we've all been waiting for. Slaven Bilic to have his say. Now, he's a guy, he's quite dignified, he doesn't like to say too much, but what he has said is quite telling. This was at his press conference. He had his press conference, and he was asked about Sullivan's comments in his press conference, and he said, he likes to talk, it's his right, but all I said is that I wanted a player, And that is not exactly what happened with those two players that you mentioned, Renato Sanchez and Krychowiak. That's my pronunciation. Sorry about that. I wanted Cavallo, and we were in the middle of talking about Cavallo, and it looked like the deal would happen. To be fair, my time at West Ham is very common that when you talk about one player, it looks like it's going to happen. Suddenly, 2 or 3 other names someone throws in, which that says a lot. That really says a lot. So Slaven is basically coming out and he's saying that it's not exactly right what he said about him turning down these players. He said he wants 1 or 2 players in. And, you know, he basically said that Slav turned down all these players. And I know who I believe at the end of the day. You know, Sullivan has a tendency to lie. And Bilic has come out and said it didn't happen that way. He didn't say how it happened, but he said it didn't happen the way that Sullivan said, which then goes to prove another lie from David Sullivan. He also was asked about the Dildo Brothers comment, and he said he found it funny, which was interesting for him to say. I mean, it just shows there is a rift there between the manager and the board. And I think deep down he feels like he's not been supported, he's not been backed with the players that he wanted. Yeah, he got some good signings, but it seems like there's always these obstacles with these players. I mean, this is a player that Slav has wanted for a long time, and they didn't even try to sign this guy. So I'm going to back Slav as long as he's the manager, but I do have my doubts, I will say that. But that's all I've got time for. Let me know your feelings and thoughts about these 3 subjects below. Like I said, I love to see what you guys have to say. It's like I said, it's been a manic week. It was hard fitting those subjects into 2 minutes, especially the first and the third one. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, like I said, to subscribe. We've got loads of other content. Ryan's got a brand new show out, Top 5, which is going to be every week. And this week it's Top 5 Huddersfield home wins. You've also got the Thames Ironwork Community FC's first ever league game. We've got on our channel and on the Thames Ironworks channel. Subscribe to it. And we're going to have previews, collaborations, the fan cams, post-match pint, all of that sort of stuff. So just keep watching, keep subscribing, all of that stuff. One thing left to say, come on you Irons.